Alright guys, welcome to the Testament of Sherlock Holmes. So this is made by the same people who made the other ones we played, Frogwares games. This is just like one of the earlier ones. It came out after well, it didn't come out after. I think I just didn't see that it came out until after I filmed Devil's Daughter and Crimes and Punishment. So I didn't see this one on the PlayStation 4 store or PlayStation 5 store until after those were filmed. So I did eventually buy it, and now we're here playing it. And then, in terms of Sherlock Holmes games, this is the last one, and then we can play like the newer games, which is Chapter 1 and the Sherlock Holmes Awakening, which I'm hyped for Awakening. I'm hyped for Chapter 1 too, to be honest, though. I like that there's a little bit more combat in it. You can skip the combat in Chapter 1 and the Awakening, but I like the option of combat. And I like the combat. I like a little change up, of pace. Because these games are, there's no combat in them. So, we'll see how this one is. We'll see if it's multiple cases or if it's an overarching story. I would assume, based off the other ones, it's probably going to be separate cases. It could have that overarching story. The Devil's Daughter had an overarching story. Crimes and Punishment did not. Crimes and Punishment was just case-to-case kind of thing. But we'll see if this is going to be a case-to-case thing or an overarching story.
Ow!
I really enjoyed Devil's Daughter a lot.
What's
It was a
this?
good game. We got the platinum for it as we were playing through it as well.
No. La la la.
I'm gonna look at the trophy guide real quick.
Ooh. Oh, look! It's a book! Maybe it's a book about pirates with a treasure map. No, I don't think so. I wish that I had seen through all your lies. Oh, start from the beginning, not the middle. And so I decided to pick up my pen to relate the most disturbing episode of my life thus far.
It all began early one morning in 1898, when Sherlock Holmes invited me to accompany him on a visit to the Marquis of Conyngham.
Watson, my dear fellow, we can now go and inform the Marquis that we have found the Samoan necklace, and very much faster than Inspector Baines, too, which pleases me.
Have you really solved the theft, Holmes? And so quickly?
I have indeed, Watson, and believe me, it was completely unnecessary to spread out all over London, as our friend Baines thought was best. He likes to boast that his methods are equal to mine, but once again the outcome has contradicted him.
After all these years of accompanying you upon your investigations, I thought that by now I should be reasonably capable of following your train of thought. But in this particular case, I must admit that I don't understand anything at all.
Ah, you see, but you do not observe, Watson. There lies the difference. It is a matter of course.
A matter of course.
We're gonna try to get
in
the
the
platinum
middle of
as
the
we play
night,
through the game
when
as well.
everyone is fast asleep, the service bell within that room rings out and alerts the servants. They dress quickly and come running, but the door is locked and there is a strong smell of burning from within. A few seconds later, the master of the house himself, the robbed Marchioness's husband, the Marquis of Conyngham, arrives and unlocks the door using the sole key. A fire has started inside the room, but they have managed to arrive in time to put it out. It is at that moment that the Marquis realizes that the famous Samoan necklace, which had been safe within its glass cabinet only a few hours earlier, has now disappeared.
In order to explain, let us confirm my theory before the arrival of Inspector Baines.
Okay. Oh wow, this looks very, yeah, this is old. Look at the broken showcase. Press X.
This window was cut with a diamond. A clean, discreet piece of work. This is where the necklace was.
See how tiny the hole is, and not one fingerprint upon the window.
After you close the examine the icon with your finger, please move Sherlock Holmes near the left of the window. You should see 2 clue icons simultaneously.
All the windows are locked. They've not been forced. A mark undoubtedly made by a diamond. Someone tried to cut the glass, but he was interrupted.
Therefore, the thief tried to escape through the window, but he was interrupted.
Go to the chimney, you'll see a hand icon on the magnifying glass. You can always examine or activate any of your items in your inventory by pressing triangle. Okay. Near the piano, some music scores on the floor. You can activate an item by selecting in your inventory or directly by the game. Use magnifying glass on the piano scores.
Let us examine the crumpled scores that have fallen off the piano. These sooty prints were left by a tiny hand.
I don't understand why these music scores are covered with soot.
Switch to first person. Okay. To make character move faster, hold R2. By pressing L2, you activate Sixth Sense, which I've already been doing.
These documents are not very interesting, even though they're addressed to the Minister of Maritime Affairs.
The Marquis himself.
Okay.
A candle. It must have fallen from the chandelier. Not very well kept, this aquarium. I can see a dead fish floating on the surface.
This draft screen makes an ideal hiding place.
As the theft was committed at night, I conclude that the thief hid himself behind the draft screen and waited until he was alone in the room. Strange. There are some objects here that have been knocked over.
The fire started here, just beneath the bell pull.
Whoever pulled the cord would have had his feet in the fire, unless it was pulled before the fire started. A mark undoubtedly made by a diamond. Someone tried to cut the glass, but he was interrupted.
Therefore, the thief tried to escape through the window, but he was interrupted.
That's crazy that I even went over there.
The chest wasn't opened. The necklace wasn't in it.
Footprints. You are not going to get on your knees to examine them.
There is no need. It is soot. The servants must have trodden in it while they were putting out the fire. Heading towards his chosen escape route, probably the window, the thief knocked over the stool, which then caught fire.
But why didn't he try to put the fire out at once?
Left something
Strange. There aren't any prints. Yet I'm sure that the thief hid here.
Interesting. Oh.
All the windows are locked. They've
Why
not been
is
forced.
that one not green? Okay.
When the servants arrived at the door, having been alerted by the bell, they saw evidence of the theft and the fire, but they didn't see the thief.
This door is very hard to force. The Marquis is the only person to have the key. The thief could not get out through here until eventually, when the door was opened by the servants.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, you're already here.
Good morning, Inspector. You've arrived just in time.
Scotland Yard arrives like the cavalry, always in the nick of time. Ah, but I know that satisfied expression, Mr. Holmes. Have you already solved the case?
It's possible.
We have retraced the thief's rather unusual footsteps. He is a true acrobat. But what I cannot understand is that when the servants entered the room, there was no one to be seen. An acrobat, perhaps, but an invisible one? I do not think so.
The only explanation is that the thief escaped before the servants arrived. I don't know how, but there is no other way.
Half a point for the doctor, nil for the inspector.
I am pleased to see that you find the situation amusing, Mr. Holmes. Very well then, explain.
Dr. Watson was correct when he mentioned acrobatics, but he is mistaken about the nature of the acrobat. As for you, Baines, you're quite incorrect, as the thief was in the room when the servants entered.
Explain, for heaven's sake, Mr. Holmes.
Watson, how could a thief be missed in the middle of 8 men?
I don't know. Because he is very small? Stop teasing us, Holmes.
Exactly, because he is small and remarkably agile.
You're thinking of a monkey?
And a trained monkey at that, without a doubt, a Leontopithecus rosalia from Central America.
What?
The animal had been hidden inside the room for several hours, calmly awaiting the signal from his master. Once night had fallen and the room was empty, a high-frequency whistle alerted the monkey that it was time to begin the procedure for which he had been trained. The monkey emerged from his hiding place and used the point of a diamond to open the glass cabinet and steal the necklace. He headed across to the window by the chimney, but knocked over the stool, which in turn knocked aside the fire guard and started the fire. The frightened monkey jumped from the chimney by swinging from the bell pull, thus alerting the house servants. He then went to the window and began to use his diamond to cut a hole, but was interrupted by the staff trying to gain entry via the door, and he panicked again. He ran across the piano, scattering the music scores onto the floor, before hiding inside the chandelier, knocking over a candle. Finally, the servants and the Marquis entered the room, leaving the door open while they put out the fire. It was during the confusion that our agile little thief made his escape through the doorway. As simple as that.
A brilliant explanation. Bravo, Holmes.
And the necklace?
I can see it from here, my friends. It's right in front of us.
We have searched the room from top to bottom, Holmes. How were we unable to find it?
Because we paid insufficient attention to the only victim of this affair.
What victim? No one is dead?
Yes, Watson. A poor goldfish whose destiny was to die, crushed by one of the most precious necklaces in England.
The aquarium is just beneath the chandelier. I understand.
The little monkey had likely hung the necklace around its neck and lost it when he leapt from the chandelier. The jewels fell into the aquarium, where they remain now.
Interesting. Quite the deduction. Nope, you spawn those in. You gotta at least make them like peak a little bit. Those just spawned up. This game's old as fuck. This is like
Marquis,
early
here is your
2000s.
necklace, intact, just a little wet.
When did this game
Mr.
come
Holmes, this brilliant demonstration does credit to your reputation.
Thank you so much, Marquis. Do you wish to verify the authenticity of your jewel?
No, I recognize it. I have spent many hours
out? This
admiring
game came out in
it.
2012.
I will return it to its box.
You cannot
and
tell that.
Inspector, a bank has just been held up. You must follow me at once. Orders of Scotland Yard.
What times?
Sirs, duty calls. My regards, Marquis. And well done again, Mr. Holmes.
There, the necklace is in its box. We've lost enough time here. Let's go home, Watson.
Ah, very well, as you wish. A good day to you, Marquis.
With pleasure, gentlemen. And once again, thank you.
Okay.
This morning's newspaper. Holmes, have you read this article about you?
No, Watson, not yet, and I won't have time to.
Read it before you leave. It's outrageous.
If you insist.
September 1898, Globe Explorer newspaper. Sherlock Holmes at the home of Marquis of Conyngham. The investigation is a fiasco. Yesterday, the celebrated detective Sherlock Holmes was invited to the manor of the Marquis of Conyngham to supply his conclusions following his investigation of the disappearance of the priceless Samoan necklace. It should be recalled that the lady called in the detective after the police appeared flummoxed in the face of the astonishing circumstances surrounding the theft. Indeed, the valuable piece of jewelry disappeared while the door to the room in which it was displayed was locked. The alarm was raised by the servants, alerted by the room service bell ringing out during the night. When the Marquis, the only person in possession of the key, opened the door, everyone rushed in to extinguish a fire that started before it was noticed that the necklace had mysteriously vanished. The most astonishing factor is that no thief was found within the room, and all that exits were closed. As usual, Mr. Holmes resolved the case in the twinkling of an eye. Then the jewel was recovered. I will not waste my time on the various explanations as to the disappearance because I would prefer to draw your attention, dear readers, to the last surprising development in the case. Following the departure of Sherlock Holmes, placed the necklace in the safe himself. The Marquis noticed that the jewel is nothing but a poor copy of the original. Let it not be forgotten that Samoan necklace, although plain and without ornament, is unique because of the rarity of its pearls, pearls which are found only in a small part of the lagoon of the archipelago of the same name, and two, which scientists attribute their exceptional quality to their strong density of crystal and aragonite that they are made of. The priceless necklace brought here at the beginning of the century by Lord Fenton Arwick, the Marquis' grandfather and eminent explorer, should have been part of her daughter's dowry for her marriage to the Duke of Newcastle. So I'm going to place a simple question. Should we not, in all open-mindedness, ask ourselves if the necklace was not simply and deliberately exchanged for a fake by Mr. Holmes himself? I'm aware, dear readers, that the brutality of this question, without any preconceptions, may certainly shock some of you, but the facts are there, and our thoughts and judgments should not be confused with regard which we all share for the famous detective. It is not the first time that the Globe Explorer has expressed its reservations as to Sherlock Holmes' methods. Do not forget our counter-investigation to the escape of Arsène Lupin, the Frenchman who took malign pleasure in tarnishing the image of our royal family and who by lucky chance managed to elude capture by Mr. Holmes. At the time, we did not hesitate to seek complicity on the part of the latter. For those who are familiar with Mr. Holmes, it is quite apparent that his character traits show more of the opportunist and brilliant usurper than that of an altruistic defender of the law. I would draw the attention of our readers to the suggestion that the description of this gentleman provided by his friend Dr. John Watson through stories is a long way from the truth. Indeed, I'm not reading anymore. Holy
Prince
shit, there's like 4
Woodville,
more
French
pages.
culinary expert and bagpipe player, might be our next king. That's not so shocking, my dear fellow.
You know exactly to which article I'm referring, Holmes. How can Farley dare to
Okay, I
tarnish
didn't
your
even have to read
reputation
it
like
anyway.
that?
Okay.
You know, Watson, that wherever glory walks, jealousy is bound to follow. As for the forgery of the necklace, I suspect that we shall soon be enlightened in this regard. Come in, Inspector Baines, the door's open.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. How did you know I was here?
You are one of our rare visitors who avoids the second-to-last step of the stairs, which creaks dreadfully. And if I add the clinking of the handcuffs at your belt, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit, Inspector?
Have you read that rag?
Inspector, can you explain this slander? Has the necklace of the Samoas really been replaced by a fake?
I don't know how the reporter got hold of the information, but it's true. About the necklace, of course. I wouldn't permit myself to question the integrity and honesty of Mr. Holmes.
The necklace is a forgery? Impossible! I saw the Marquis authenticated before my very eyes, before Holmes returned it to its place.
Mr. Holmes, the Marquis believes Osmond Farley's theory. I shouldn't be surprised if the reporter isn't behind all this slander about you. He's a freelancer, well known for his explosive and subjective articles. In any case, the Marquis assures us that you were the last person to have the necklace in your hands.
Let's return to the Marquis's house, Holmes. I'm sure that we'll have no trouble in taking apart this theory.
It is unnecessary. Such allegations collapse on their own, like one of Mrs. Hudson's soufflés. Let us leave the police to solve this problem and turn our attention to the matters in hand.
Perhaps you are right, Holmes.
Inspector, I assume that you have the fake necklace with you. It's why you're here. Your superiors would like me to examine it.
Indeed. They would like you to confirm or deny putting this fake in the box.
Can't that wait? I must go to the house of Lord Peregrine Maitland, the Bishop of Knightsbridge. And the Marchioness?
She is beside herself. Without the necklace, her marriage is compromised. It is the principal item of a young woman's dowry.
What a lovely marriage. Holmes, forgive me for insisting, but don't you want to examine the fake jewelry?
Watson, I have an appointment, and it's out of the question that I arrive late.
It will only take you a couple of minutes. You really must quell the suspicions put forward in this appalling article. If you will allow me, Inspector?
Be my guest.
Very well.
Alright, let's look at this.
These 3 pearls are of poor quality. This pearl is too small. It is not in its place here. This pearl is a different color. Too many defects. This necklace is a fake. This is nothing but a vulgar copy, and at a glance it would appear that the forger has intended for it to be seen as such.
How could we have been fooled by such a blatant imitation? I don't understand.
Yes, how is it possible? Holmes, do you have a theory about this?
I have absolutely no idea. You insisted that I examine the necklace, and I have done so. Now it is important that I keep my appointment. I'm sure, Inspector, that you will throw some light on this affair.
Holmes.
You may accompany me, Watson, if you care to do so.
Goodbye, gentlemen. I'll keep you informed as to my inquiries.
Goodbye, Inspector. You mentioned a bishop, didn't you? Are we going to his home?
Yes, the Bishop of Knightsbridge. I put his address on our map of London on my desk. Would you get it for me, please?
All right, Holmes.
Okay, so now we're Watson. We're gonna go ahead and do one of the secondary trophies. So we have to get the pack of letters punched with a knife on the fireplace. We have to do these
And
as
this
Watson.
is how my dear friend and colleague treats his client's letters.
Spear on top of Watson's room door.
The harpoon that was used to kill Black Peter. A horrible murder.
Wait. Watson's typewriter inside his room. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, so the Watson's typewriter.
Here is where
Don't
I
worry,
write
the
my
guide I'm looking
stories
at
about
doesn't spoil
Holmes's
story stuff.
cases. And I've got work to do.
The guide I'm looking at is purely for missing or missable trophies, and then the bust on Sherlock's room table. But it just tells me where things are in terms of like locations and the order of the locations, and then it just tells me what's missable. So there's a few things we're gonna have to do as we play through the game, but it shouldn't be too bad.
This bust was used to fool Colonel Moran during the case of the empty house.
See, I wonder if this is. I wonder if the. Does Sherlock Holmes and. Fuck. Sherlock Holmes and. What is it called? The.
I have found your map.
Jack the Ripper? Is that after this or before this? Okay, Okay, so we gotta go to whatever the fuck. Oh, we're in a castle. Like, actually a castle. So we have 2 missable trophies here.
The police?
So
Already?
we gotta do a
How did you know?
lockpicking
May we see the
puzzle.
Bishop of Knightsbridge?
Yes. Yes, of course. But
We have to
come in.
do with the blackmail.
What has happened, Reverend?
What?
I don't know. It was last night, I think. I only just
We have
arrived,
to
and I have made this macabre discovery. My God.
do peace.
How horrible. I haven't called anyone. How did you know that?
Oh, that's whatever. Okay.
Holmes,
Sorry, we should
look!
The Bishop, appallingly mutilated.
How dreadful.
Mutilated
save crackers for the
and
sword.
killed.
Okay, we should be good.
He was such a good man.
Holy
How could
shit.
anyone be so brutal? Look at him.
Gruesome.
He is barely recognizable now. How could any of God's children be responsible
Oh
for
my god.
that?
They were evidently unworthy children,
That's
Reverend.
awesome.
Now do please try to calm yourself and focus, because we will need your assistance. Do you have any idea as to the motive behind this?
I haven't had time to do an inventory, but nothing appears to have been stolen. And anyway, His Excellency didn't own anything of great value. I don't know what else I can tell you.
Note this down, please, Doctor.
Doctor? But you aren't the police?
No, Reverend. I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. Watson. We are here at the request of the Bishop.
In that case, I must ask you to leave. And not to touch anything. I must get in touch with the authorities without further delay.
Reverend, when the inspectors of Scotland Yard find themselves at a dead end, which they quite often do, I assure you, then they turn to me for help. If you will allow us to continue our investigation, then you shall have the answers to all of your questions.
Out of the question! I don't even know you! I'm going to call the police, whether you like it or not.
It would be better for everyone, Reverend, if you kept your temper. Watson, are you taking notes? This affair promises to be a complex one. Therefore, we must not overlook the slightest detail.
Yes, Holmes, I am keeping a meticulous set of notes. I have created a very clever deduction board. One thing we can be sure of at the moment is that this crime was not for gain. The Reverend has informed us that nothing valuable was stolen, and indeed, it would seem that the Bishop had nothing of any worth to take.
Very good, Watson. Do continue.
Okay. Make the right. Okay, so we do get to still do deductions. I was a little worried because that first one, I get that the first one was like a proper case, but I was a little worried that it wasn't gonna let us like do so. He should know not to pick that up.
Covered in blood.
What? Oh, you know what? They don't use fingerprint yet. Never mind. Okay, I got one of the missable trophies.
Watch where you're putting your feet, Watson. Have you noticed these prints upon the ground?
Well, yes, those muddy marks.
See here, Watson. Footprints can often provide more vital information than the very best of informants.
Yes, if you know how to make them talk, that is.
It's child's play, Watson. We will begin by excluding the contaminating prints, which are yours and mine from where we came in, and those of our dear Reverend who was so impatient to call the police. I need something.
Oh.
This print came from an expensive pair of shoes, and it seems recent. It is not a laborer's shoe. Hobnail boots like those worn by laborers. A fragment of stone. Peculiar. Hobnail boots like those worn by laborers.
Okay, but this
Well-worn
one's different.
shoes with an odd pattern on the soles.
Okay. Is this one?
Hobnail boots like those worn by laborers.
Okay.
Nothing of interest here. Nothing of interest here. Size 9. Size 9. Size
They're
9.
all size 9s.
I need something. I need something. Size 9.5.
Oh.
Size 9.5. Size 9.
Okay.
This print came from an expensive pair of shoes, and it seems recent. It is not a laborer's shoe.
I don't think I'm missing anything.
Hobnail boots like those worn by laborers.
I don't think. Well, we're gonna have to come back to that.
The picture of Peregrine Maitland, commander of the infantry brigade of Her Majesty's Guards at Waterloo.
The Bishop of Knightsbridge has the same name as his ancestor, an illustrious family.
Let's talk to the Reverend.
You have no right to search here.
This metal rod is for fastening the chilies. It's a cilice designed to bruise the person wearing it. The bishop wore it as repentance.
A whip?
No, it is a discipline for self-flagellation. This very pious man must have had the habit of mortifying his flesh as a means of repentance.
This shit is weird. Nothing else? I don't think so.
I need something. These traces reveal that the thieves tried to open this chest. Impossible to open it. Reverend, I'm missing something, an implement with which to open this chest. Could you tell me where to find it?
No, go to the devil.
What are you afraid of, Reverend? What is inside the chest?
I'm not afraid of anything. In fact, I do have the necessary implements, but if I have to give them to anyone, it will be to a representative of the law and no one else.
Okay.
A broken phial and blood near the neck.
What a strange smell. Chemical components, I think.
This stove is filled to overflowing. A bottle of whiskey. I can make out fingerprints stained with blood and dirt.
A broken bottle of whiskey. However, the Bishop of Knightsbridge was known for his sobriety. It would seem that the brutes who tortured the bishop to death were intoxicated with alcohol.
There is blood on this paperweight.
Yeah, there's fucking blood everywhere. Okay, so let's go. Why did it do that? Did something else pop up? I don't think so. Okay, let's so there's some kind of symbol. Oh no.
His
there-
chest has been lacerated, I would say, with a very sharp and fine blade. There isn't any doubt the wounds on the bishop were administered with this scalpel. You can see by his expression that he suffered terribly.
His mouth is covered in blood, and I can make out strips of skin between his teeth.
Are you sure that's a big ass gap?
The fingers have been
Jesus
crushed and
Christ.
violently struck.
Oh my god. I didn't see that until right now. That's fucked
His
up.
stomach is covered in scratches. Quite evidently, they weren't made recently.
So, these
Yeah,
wounds
that's
were not
interesting.
made by his murderers. The fingers have been crushed and violently struck.
Okay. Oh, his finger's off his body.
A finger. Apparently, it doesn't belong to the Bishop of Knightsbridge.
How dreadful.
These burns are terrible.
This poor man was tied just below the knees.
To stop him from walking, certainly, but mostly to free his feet.
His feet have been burned.
My first impression is that he wears a size 9 shoe.
You! But what does it matter, Holmes? My God, Holmes, this man was horribly tortured.
A piece of rope that was used to tie up that poor man.
I don't see anything else.
His forearms have been ripped. Pieces of skin have been torn off. What do you think, Watson?
I'd say that he was eaten alive. Yet I've noticed a curious degeneration of the skin tissue around the wounds.
My dear friend, everything points to this man having gnawed at his own forearms.
That's unbelievable, Holmes.
That's gross. That's what the fuck that is. That's nasty. I think that's everything now. Green, green, green. I don't see anything.
Something
else
is
anywhere.
missing here.
Oh, yes? And what might that be?
His shoes. Watson,
Oh,
his shoes
yeah.
are missing.
Interesting. This looks like it's just a little separate room.
Closed.
Oh, it's
The
not.
veranda door hasn't been forced. Strange. Reverend, might I have the key?
No! You have no authority here. Let me call the police.
Perhaps we should listen to him, Holmes.
Perhaps you should let me get on with this, Watson. Closed.
Oh, I thought we were gonna lockpick it. That's why it made that sound.
This door has not been forced. Where does it lead, Reverend?
To His Excellency's room. There is just a mattress and a stool.
The bishop's bedroom. It is very austere. Nothing in particular here. I cannot leave now.
Oh,
You have no right to search here.
he still won't fucking talk to me. Okay, so the size, this one?
Size 9. I need something.
What is one man joined those who were already in the room, one man left the room wearing different shoes. One man was carried so as to not leave footprints. All men left the room jumping on one leg. One man joined those who were already in the room. It looks like one man joined.
That's not
those-
right. Start
What?
again.
How's that not right? One man right there. Oh, I guess because the third one. One man was carried so as not to leave footprints. All men left the room jumping on one leg.
That's not right. Start
How
again.
is that not? Fuck you. Then it's this one.
Strange but true. One of the crooks was wearing a different pair of shoes when he left here.
Okay. How many criminals were there? I think it's 2, right? I think it's 2. But I don't know.
That's not right. Start
Huh.
again.
So then it's just 1?
That's not right. Start again.
How do you get 3? I'm so confused. Because there's 2 sets of footprints. This third one is coming in. I'm so confused.
Perfect. We now know that there were 3 crooks. Therefore, we have 3 men who came in and left again. But one of them was wearing a different pair of shoes from the ones which he came in with.
So, all we have to do is look for a workman who likes Italian shoes.
Okay, there's nothing else for us to do, so are you gonna cooperate?
You have no right to search here.
This fucking guy. Can I use this?
Closed.
Do I have any way to break in there?
Closed.
I'm confused. Unless I have to talk to Watson, but I don't think that's... I don't think that's what we have to do. So, Bishop's shoes are missing. Shoes. One of the murderers left in different shoes. So that means one of the murderers left wearing the Bishop's shoes, one of the murderers threw bishop's shoes. Left wearing the bishop's shoes. When the murderers stole shoes, murderers are poor. When the murderers came back for shoes. Murderers are poor? Veranda. The veranda wasn't searched. The bishop didn't own anything of value. Murderers got the bishop took the murders. Murderers were looking for something specific. Bishop murders were hired by someone. Murderers searched for the bishop's shoes. Murderers want to steal something. I think that's correct. Freedom was savagely tortured. The bishop was mortifying himself. He was just the bishop resisted torture. The bishop punished himself. Bishop resisted torture. Murderers came here to kill the bishop. The bishop murderers got what they wanted. The bishop murderers didn't get
Perfect. It is evident that the Bishop of Knightsbridge's killers were after something specific, and that they did not find it. Reverend, I shall ask you one more time. Open the chest. The item they were seeking must still be inside. It is unlikely that they will let this matter rest. They will most certainly return to finish what they started.
And I am telling you once more, the chest is locked and shall remain so.
Very well. We have reached an impasse. You are a stubborn man, Reverend. Watson, accompany our friend to the police station and return with Inspector Baines. Baines and no one else. I shall wait for you here. Go. Alone at last. Now I can continue my investigation.
Does that mean I can lockpick now? Because I can't do anything over there still.
This
Still
lock should
locked.
be easy to
Okay.
pick. Let's see.
Is there something I have to specifically have equipped?
I need something.
This thing?
This lock should be easy to pick. Let's see.
Okay. Oh, okay, I see. Oh, okay. I think I just have to line it up. Oh, you can see the outline of what you need to do. So you go like that. Oh, wait. So that one is the first one. So it's going to go down one. Then it's going to pivot up. And then it's going to go... That looks too drastic, doesn't it?
There we are. It is simplicity itself.
Nope, that was right.
There isn't anything much in this room. It must be used as a reading or meditation room. An ink stain, quite fresh. This stain is just on the edge of the rug. Let's see. There is nothing on the floor, yet the ink must have soaked through the rug.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck happened?
An ink stain.
Interesting.
Apparently, someone wanted to hide this statue. This horse resembles a large chess piece.
I feel like he's touching
There is a
some
message
shit.
underneath this statue. Let's see.
What a lack of imagination. Use your passion for chess. The last square on which the knight will place himself after having covered all the others will be the right one. I love you.
This message was written by a woman, but for whom was it intended? Interesting, this chess game. This inkwell was tipped over recently. The ink stain on the floor comes from the ink on the rug, but they are not in the same place. Someone has moved the rug recently.
Yeah, there's a hatch. You can see it.
That is curious. There is something strange on the floor. Certain stones have been marked out, just like a chessboard.
Oh. Okay.
That is curious. There is something strange on the floor. Certain stones have been
Oh,
marked
I have to
out,
equip the chess
just
piece,
like
huh?
a chessboard. I need something.
Okay. So.
That's not right. Start again.
Okay. So right there I cornered myself. I see though. I see. How do I... Okay, reset. So we gotta do it without overlapping. At all. If I go there... I fucked myself. Wait, no I didn't. Yes I did. Oh wait, no I didn't. Let's go. Okay. Huge. Wait, I did fuck myself.
That's not right. Start again.
Fuck. We have to do all of them without fucking up all the puzzles in the game. I just don't want to fuck myself. I don't know what I want to do. Let's go here. I fucked myself.
That's not right. Start again.
Ah, son of a bitch. Okay, let's go. Let's try it this way. Let's go like this. Then I guess I have to go there, 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 there. I'm just fucking myself. Oh wait, maybe not. If I go here, then I go here. Oh fuck. Oh fuck, I fucked it.
That's not right. Start again.
This is hard. Okay, so let's go boom. Let's go like this. Let's try this. I can piggyback in between them all. Let's go like that. Like that. Like that. Like that. Like that. Like that. I fucked it. Fuck. I fucked it.
That's not right. Start again.
Son of a bitch. So boom. I'm just trying to think about how to do this somewhat correctly. But I don't think there's a method to it. I think, well, I mean, I'm sure there is, obviously, but I think I kind of just gotta figure it the fuck out. And do it in a way that doesn't
That's
fuck...
not right. Start
Shit.
again.
Son of a bitch, dude. I'm gonna try to have some sort of method. Oh shit. Fuck. I fucked it. If I go like that, but then if I go there, I'm fucked.
That's not right. Start
Yeah.
again.
I almost had it, dude. So let me try this way again. me get the corners. I feel like the corners are the issue. Let's get all the corners done. Because I feel like that's an issue. And then we can go fill in. Because maybe that was my issue. Maybe I was staying like connected too much. You know what I mean? I think I did it.
This last
Let's go.
piece should be the good one. It will have to be pulled free. I need something.
Do I quit?
I need something. I need something.
There we go. April 24th, my love, what a beautiful spring and what a marvelous day, our dear youngest child's birthday. Every moment so precious as our child blossoms, and without a doubt he will soon be talking. I'm sure that his first words will be for you. He misses you so much, so as do I. Are you sure you cannot get away on Sunday after Vespers? I thought that. September 14th. My darling, I know that you think I am insistent, but we absolutely must legitimize our union. We cannot live in sin all our lives. March 3rd. Rest assured, my dear, that I understand your position is not easy, but have you thought about ours? The children's and mine. I cannot allow our children's future to be compromised. Think about it, my love. What is so-called scandal next to the well-being of your family? We must become husband and wife legally to finally form a real fam. Did that say real fam? It did.
A packet of letters addressed to the Reverend. They were written by a woman who mentions his illegitimate children. Their affair isn't official. Perfect. I have you now, my wayward Reverend.
Alright. So I'm just... Oh, there he is. He's back. Okay. That puzzle was sick. It was hard, but that was
Watson,
cool.
you were gone a terribly long time, and Inspector Baines isn't with you.
I'm afraid not, Holmes. We were unable to find him.
Dr. Watson would not allow me to contact any inspector other than this Baines. What manners! I am a man of the church.
My dear Reverend, I notice that you are a chess lover. I trust you will excuse me, but I am never able to resist the appeal of a half-finished game.
You are an expert at chess. Very well then. What do you want now?
As you might have guessed, resolving your small chess problem has allowed me to discover some very interesting letters.
Letters? What do they say?
Reverend, why hide these letters here and run the risk of the bishop finding them?
Holmes, what's in the letters?
Not now, Watson.
Where else could I have hidden them? My own chambers are too austere. They could offer no cover. I knew, however, that His Excellency, may he rest in peace, would not notice my game.
The contents of the Bishop of Knightsbridge's chest interest me greatly. Give me the elements you hold, Reverend.
Out of the question.
Blackmail.
I am a gentleman, and it would distress me to be obliged to pass this correspondence across to your superiors.
Holmes, I know that the end justifies the means, but allow me to express some reservations about how you are proceeding.
You say you're a gentleman, but I hear nothing but the words of a blackmailer. The stems that you are looking for are scattered about this room. Manage by yourself.
Thank you.
What do you think, Holmes?
How was I trying to talk to Watson? That's crazy. There's more throughout the room we must find. I assume, because that doesn't... That was only 3. Wait, what? This looks annoying as fuck.
Impossible to open it.
Okay. Pretty sure we need more bullshit. It's probably in here.
You have won.
Evidently, as I always do. What are you able to tell us about the Bishop of Knightsbridge's last days? Did anyone come to visit him? Did he seem worried, anxious? Do not omit the smallest detail.
His nephew came to see him yesterday at His Excellency's request. I found this visit a little peculiar because the young man rarely visits his uncle.
Do you know why that might be? Were they on bad terms?
I don't think so. It's rather a consequence of his work. The young man is employed within the archive section of the Royal Library, which doesn't leave him with a lot of free time.
Do you know the reason for his summons?
No, but the conversation was very heated. It only lasted for a few minutes and ended with the nephew in a terrible rage.
Interesting.
I've answered your questions. Will you now let me contact the authorities?
I'm afraid not, Reverend. Not just yet. All right, now we can open the safe.
Okay, so now we can open the safe. Which, see, I would assume it has something to do with... Oh, wait. It's each row? No. I'm just trying to figure out how to get all these on the fucking board. Oh! They can't be side by side with each other. Or diagonal to each other. Okay, they can't even be in the same row. Okay, that's interesting. So, like that. And then... Ah, that was... Okay, hold on. Oh my god, I just canceled out like 3 of them. Okay, we're gonna end the episode here. Next episode, we're gonna start just finishing this puzzle. So, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below what you guys want to see on the channel in the future. I'll see you guys very soon in the next one. Stay safe out there. Peace out, guys.